Hello friends, hi, how are we today? I hope we are all doing well. I'm here for the week of April the 29th through May the 5th in my 2024 Vertical Neutral Sadie Sticker Planner. Why am I telling you this, you may wonder? Well, I am telling you this because it is September the 23rd and I am intending on buying the same planner for next year. So if you were just wondering, occasionally I'll get like a DM on Instagram usually about what planner I'm using. And I do usually also tag it down below in the comments section. Or not the comment section, like the tags of the video, just in case anyone was wondering. So, for this wonderful week, to start off May, I am using this just stunning spring kit from AllyCat's shop. Honest to goodness, this was the banner year. This was the best year for spring kits, hands down. Now, I get her kits. They are a little bit long for my planner, but that's okay. I can always just cut them down, and I actually did a really good job cutting them down this time, so very happy about it. And you'll see that there's me putting my knife, or my lid back on my X-Acto knife, because safety first, friends. And I just wanted to see what style I had done for my previous plan with me, which is the plan with me for Bunny Bear Plans. And I do think that you should go check out that video if you haven't seen it. I will be uploading this on the 25th, 26th of September. So, if you haven't seen it, totally understandable. And I will link that in the description. Or in the iCard, you know how it goes. Anyway, I did scattered boxes this week and I thought it turned out really well. I love all the wildflowers. I love the green, this particular green for spring, showing up so nicely on camera. I really liked how it turned out. I didn't even notice that some of the boxes had like words on them like breathe, and I think one of them is relax. I think exhale would have been really nice. But it was a very unseasonably warm May. Not the warmest that we've ever had on record, but certainly wasn't the coolest. So that was fine. Yeah, anyway, I very, very, very much enjoyed planning this week, as I have all the recent weeks, really. I feel like there was something about this week that I couldn't get going on. Oh, yeah. I didn't have the headers. I realized that when I buy the kits from her, I don't get the headers just because it's like not a section that I typically would buy headers from. So I went ahead and I used the leftover green glitter headers that I had, and I was going to do the blue, but the blue just wasn't like bluing. It wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. And frankly, I had my notebook open in front of me of all my leftover headers, and I was like, should I go ahead and pull in a blue header, or could I just use the do this stuff leftover headers from Let's Plan It? And it matched, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. And I think it just adds a little pop of something to the kit that I didn't realize that I wanted. So I think it turned out really nicely. I think it turned out pretty well, if we're going to be honest about it. But I do feel like this base took me more time to put down than it normally does put. Also, fair dues about my hands. I have been gardening and I have little cuts and bites everywhere, and they're super duper itchy. So if you see them, no, you didn't. But I was pulling a weed, and I'm not sure which weed I was pulling, and it was so bad, and my hands were so swollen and so itchy, and like just very, very, very uncomfortable. So I was glad to be able to do it, but again, just very uncomfortable. So I'm sorry about the state of my hands. I know they look the way that they look every time. I thought I was going to be able to make it through this one without yawning. I'm sorry, folks. I mean, I would be sorry if I cared. I don't. It's a yawn. Like, we're over it. Anywho, moving on to the sidebar now. Sidebar was pretty simple. There were two habit trackers that I pulled from the kit, and then I pulled in a currently reading sticker from up the currently reading sticker from my, not my leftover sheets, but the sheets that I've specifically bought. And it might seem a little bit more blue on camera, but this blue actually matches this kit remarkably well. Particularly like the blue that they've used on the curtains on that window in the Tuesday full box. So, it turned out really well, and I'm very, very glad that I was able to pull it in. I think I'm just looking for another. I thought I had another sheet of these currently readings, but it's Monday through Sundays. So anyway, I ended up going with this one. And that's really good. So I think this looked really good. And then I just pulled in a little bit of the bottom washi, the leftovers, because there were so many leftovers for this kit. And I thought I would just bring in that gingham pattern just a little bit, or checkered pattern, I guess is really what it is. So it's the full straight across the full thing. And then I just cut it down to fit the sidebar. And that was a great way of dividing up my week. And I will move into my day by day very shortly. This is taking a really long time. But anyway, I digress. On the Monday, I see it just looks so pretty. On the Monday, I used a Fox and Pip Pastel Girl, or is it the polka dot girl? It's the polka dot pastel girl, to note that I worked in office. I love my regular schedule, and it was a really, really rainy, wet day. A really, really, really wet day. And then I got some Happy Meal on the really, really, really wet day for Nicole Alexia Design. And we're back. Sorry, I got sidetracked by a text message from my husband. Next up, speaking of him, I used a Fox and Cactus little guy icon to note that my husband cleaned my entire house top to bottom, and it was spotless, and it was lovely, and it was amazing to come home to. Then my littlest started on a temper tantrum. It was a bad one. He guys, the temper tantrums that you were about to see be written down, not great. Anyway, he was so overtired, he went to bed very early, like very, very early. And then I also went to bed early that night, which I marked with a Coffee Monsters Co. little bed early icon. The next day, I decided to mark working in the office the same way, which was with this Fox and Cactus polka dot girl in the yellow, and I think it's so nice. I rarely get to use the greens and the yellows, so it's very nice. Then a leftover from a kit of a fork and a spoon, just to note that I went out with my coworker again for lunch. It's sort of our tradition. And then when we got home, it was very, very beautiful out. So I played outdoors with the kids, and I used this much from Fox and Pip. And then my little guy was constipated, not a good time. And he was not having a good time in the garden. And then after it sorted itself out, he was. So I used a Sweetie Sticker Co. icon and her font to note that I was pulling weeds on this day, which was always a fun time. I got more Happy Meal from the Prairie Planner on this day, noted with a squish. And then the Leafs were playing the Bruins that night. And we won. So I'm happy again because we won. Not a good time. Anyway, I worked from home on the Wednesday, and I have an old Maru on the laptop to mark that, which is really cute. I like the cactus. And then I just used the flags from the kit to note that I had daycare drop-off on this day. And then I don't know what I was so mad about. I was furious. I think it might have been like project work or something. But I was furious. So I used a Fox and Cactus shoe, and I went on a lunchtime rage walk. I think I did 5 kilometers in a very short amount of time. I was furious. And then that evening, I filmed my kit lineup for May. I was a little bit late. And then that afternoon, this isn't all in order, but that afternoon, then my kiddo was sent home. My littlest was sent home sick from daycare. So not only was he constipated, he was not feeling good. So it was a rough go, and he ended up being home the rest of the week. So on Thursday, I think I took a day off work, but oh no, I must have worked. I worked with my little guy home. He was just tired. Nothing, Like, it was just a very busy day. So I marked working from home the same way. Daycare drop off for my eldest the same way. And then I used another Coffee Monsters Co. emoji, just with a sigh and the spoon, just to note that my little guy was sick, because he is a food thrower. We love him so much. So I got a little bit sad and I got a little bit spendy. So I made an Indigo order, which was largely books for the kids, but I got some stuff for myself. And then I also placed an order with Fox and Cactus, which was also a splurge. On Friday, my little guy homesick again. So I dropped off the big guy at daycare and marked work from home the same way as the last 3 days. Shocker, surprise, surprise. Then I took my little guy, who was feeling, I think, a lot better outdoors. We were outside for about 45 minutes. And after that, he perked up a lot. So my mom came over for the afternoon to help. So I ended up being able to work half a day without worrying about my kid. So she helped out for the afternoon. And then I made a dinner. I couldn't tell you what I had made this evening. What did I make? Oh, I made a beef stew. It was awful. It was terrible. And this little Maru with the fire in the frying pan, perfect representation, full flop. I went to the bank with my husband this evening, and then I went to bed so early because when my little guy is sick, he is up all night. It is just his thing, what he does. Saturday, my big guy was so mad. He was just so mad, so tantrumy. This is a rough week. So I love the calm kit for a rough week. Used another Coffee Monsters Co. icon to note that. Then I took the kids for a walk. And then we went to the stores, just all of them. All of the stores, picked up random stuff, arts and crafts supplies. And then I FaceTimed with my mom that day, and my big guy really liked that. I edited and uploaded a video that day. That was not the worst in the world. And then I made an order with Sweet Tea Sticker Co. and the Prairie Planner. And then after my husband got home from work, we went to Costco. So that was Saturday. On Sunday, it was another incredibly rainy day, and the kids had swim. And then for some reason, my little guy had a full body of hives after he was in the chlorinated water. We don't know if he's allergic to chlorine, but it has happened twice. So we're just a little bit concerned. We wanted to make sure he was okay. It was the whole thing. And then we went to a celebration of life for my aunt.